drone today. Hello? Hello? How's things going? I heard a testing. Yeah, on your video as well. It's basically silent. 30 minutes of silence. I see. Through the video, I heard my voice coming back at me, but no responses and no sound.
I'm going with Gary broke it. Whether he broke it or not, I don't know. But I'm going with he broke it because he was the last one to be wearing
Got it.
it. Honestly, it could just be that I haven't restarted my computer in days. So
Sorry.
okay. That's it. That's simple. So how are you today?
I am sick.
That's nice. Is it a sick that you will be over by Monday? Or is it a today is Monday? Is it a is it a sick that you will be over by next Monday? Or is it a not sure when I will be over this sick?
Hopefully, it'll only be like a day or so.
That's good. That's
But
good.
just yeah. I don't think it's a serious thing.
That's good.
So how many bowls have you thrown today?
Um, this is my first one, and it hasn't gone well.
Oh,
My 6 pound bowl is now a 3 pound bowl.
uh,
It had a wibble that wobbled, and I didn't like it.
wibble wobbles, but didn't fall down.
Not quite. Cut it off for that. So I just have started my 3 pounders unintentionally. That's okay. So what's your opinion on this? A warlock gets up in the morning, casts his morning spells, mage armor, whatever, and then over breakfast takes a short rest to commune with his patron and whatnot.
Orlok gets up, casts its spells, and then takes a short rest like immediately after.
Yeah, yeah. He gets up, he casts his morning stuff, and then he heads down to the rest of the party and has some breakfast and relaxes for an hour.
I mean, technically it would be allowed, but I feel like even with short rests, there should be some time between your rests.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I don't have so much of an issue with it because, you can't do anything strenuous. And if you want to commune and take a short rest and get your spell slots back, um, your patron may contact you to give you a quest. So that's always a possibility with my warlocks. Okay, really? Yeah. The throwing.
Been,
It's not going so great today.
yeah, been a while since I've done a warlock. Came off. Apparently that one didn't want to stick.
Happened like 2 or 3 times to my last one.
I see.
That last one just didn't want to get thrown. Period.
I see. I think last time I tried to do a warlock, patron gave me a quest. There were these obelisks around the world that he wanted destroyed.
Okay.
Right? Didn't know much about the obelisks, but I didn't know if I would be able to destroy them myself simply due to getting there. So my character started uh, spreading rumors that there were like magnificent treasures within these obelisks, essentially to get other people to go around the world and destroy them.
I love that. Love it.
So yeah, instead of my character having to do it, basically go around convince a bunch of other people to go do it.
Love it.
Don't know what would have happened. Campaign kind of came to an end before, you know, anything came of it, but the patrons specifically said that they just wanted them destroyed. They didn't say that my character had to be the one to destroy them.
Yeah. And really, I mean, like, I feel like that's how a patron works. Like, it's not a quest of how faithful are you. It's a, I want this shit done. Get it done.
I was my patron was Vecna,
Nice.
and the reason why I even became a warlock because my character started as a rogue wizard. They were a necromancer who was also a phantom rogue,
Nice.
and we had met up with somebody in a dungeon who worshipped Vecna and wanted to become a lich that we took care of. And and as a joke, my character said, "As like maybe we should try and do that. Becoming a lich sounds like it could be fun." And my paladin our paladin in the group just went off on me so badly on how terrible an idea it was and such. And I decided at that moment my character was going to be spiteful. So the next level that we got, I took Warlock Pact of the Undying. So I was a Warlock Wizard Rogue. And yeah,
Love it. Love it.
it was an interesting combination of classes.
And I love that when people um, level up their character with what's happening in the story.
Yeah, like generally speaking, if I don't bring in a multi-class when the character first hits the table,
Mm-hmm.
I won't multi-class unless something in the game makes sense to multi-class into that.
Right.
Like I had a wild magic sorcerer at one point that had lost her father figure, and it that we just so happened to get in contact with a devil at one point, and the devil said that they could bring, the person back. So the next level after that, I took a warlock pact because they literally just made a deal with a demon or a devil, you know.
Nice.
Or having characters find out that there's a bunch of monsters planning on destroying their homeland, going to take some levels in like ranger for the monster hunter thing, and like change them up from being the just a bit of magic casting to more of a stealth hunter type thing in order to protect their people. It makes sense for the situation as opposed to I'm just gonna randomly take this one level dip in something for the mechanical reasons of it, you know.
I was curious if you guys were gonna pull out anything from your bag of tricks in Saturday night's game, and I feel like people forget it exists, or they don't want to
Yeah.
use the stuff that's in it.
It's like, this stuff's for emergencies. Is this not an emergency? But we could need it later. If we keep that thought process, we'll never use it.
Uh-huh. Yep. So I'm always curious, when, if you guys will pull out the bag of holding.
I mean, I was considering using the bag of holding. That did come to mind for something specific. But it wasn't going to be to use something out of it.
Okay.
I was considering at one point seeing how it would or what would happen if I just tried throwing the bag of holding over the enemy's head,
Okay.
basically putting them in it.
Yep. Grapple attempts are always possible.
Because there's only so much air in there.
Uh-huh. Welcome aboard.
Don't
I
tell me
don't
I came in at the last second again.
know. No.
You're early today.
Heyo.
Hello.
Now you know that's going to become a running joke.
Very possible.
I just happened to look down and notice there were two people in the chat. I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
I am feeling sick, and I did not get much sleep last night because of sick, and so I called into work.
Oof. Also just realized my mic was far away. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
My mic just decided to not work. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just using a camera mic now.
Back when I was working, I hated having to call in.
Yeah, luckily my work isn't a shift work type situation, so it's not like we have to try and get somebody to cover me.
Right? Yeah, no, same.
So, because obviously if it was in certain jobs, like being sick means they have to call in somebody else or short or whatnot. My work's more of well, here's a whole bunch of stuff. This is a deadline. Get things done by then.
Yeah,
I don't care.
that was my last job, and that did not go well. The funny part was, I think looking back, I may have shot myself in the foot with that job, but I don't know because I overperformed to try and impress them, but I was still way too slow for their quota.
So you just retired, basically.
Well, they claimed that they were going to let me take time to build up speed. And then 2 weeks into the job, they let me go. So it's like,
Yeah, that's one of the things where it's like, would I like a different job? Yes. Do I currently have security at this current job because I've been there for a couple years? Yes. And risking going to another job only to be able to be let go for no reason in the first 3 months is nerve-wracking.
well, nowadays I'm also on disability and legally blind, so trying to find a job that will take me, never mind one that I can comfortably get to, not easy.
You should try looking into like call centers or something like that, see if they can do remote work, because then you're just on a phone.
I have, and most of the ones that do require you to come in at least so often. Yeah. There was one that I wish I could go back to, but At the time, I was thinking along the lines of, well, if I end up coming back, I'll probably just end up leaving for the same reason. So I made the mistake of burning that bridge.
Uh, I see.
Which, again, looking back, I regret, and I wish I could tell them, hey, here's what happened, here's what was going on, this. But I don't think it would make a difference.
Understood.
At least I assume it wouldn't. I would be very surprised if they bothered to hire me back at that point. Never mind that they start you off working on site. You can eventually get to where you work from home, but and then on the same token, most jobs won't take me anyway because being a stay-at-home dad, I have Lily. They don't want a baby there. Which is understandable, but
But eventually she's gonna have school or something, so.
potentially. I have no idea what's going to happen with the DOE here.
Yeah. Well,
There will always be school.
True, but the question comes down to whether it will still be the same style we have or whether I'll be able to afford it.
Okay. I'm not getting into political discussions here. Nope. Um,
I was speaking financially, but okay.
I think she just didn't want us going into what is going on with the DOE.
Ah.
Yeah.
Where it's like mentioning just random things about education.
We lost the Kai.
Huh?
Would that I could
Oh, there we
send
go.
her into my old school, but nowadays they charge like $10,000 a year, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
And are public schools free?
Public schools are free.
Uh-huh.
yes, but at the same time, it's one of those where it's like I've seen what they teach at the public schools.
Not getting into
It's
political discussions here.
no, it's more along the lines of what they were learning in 8th grade, we were learning in 5th grade.
So it's just takes longer. Got it.
Right. I would likely be more inclined to homeschool if it comes down to it.
If you
I've
think,
just got to figure out the process.
yeah, if you think you can provide her with good education that way, then go ahead.
In
Because
theory, I could. I basically just give her the same education I got. But, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
you got a few years.
This Clay's been
On
sitting
another
in a
note,
bag
I
for a
did
couple
manage to
days.
finally finish that fast.
That is good.
Yeah. I've got a feeling it'll come in handy. I don't need to eat nearly as much as I thought I did.
Yeah, so all my clay is
So,
getting
as
hard
far
from
as
sitting in a bag for days. all my clay is getting hard from sitting in a bag for a couple days. None of my bags are all that tight right now. So they'll have to be extra worked when I start throwing them.
So is it accurate to say the descriptor I gave this morning for where we are has covered pretty much everything?
Yeah. You guys were fighting things that had laid an ambush. And their goal is to eat you.
They actually want to eat us. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a piece of food.
Food and supplies, that's their goal at the moment.
Ellie, there is something up with your mic. It makes screechy noises.
Oh, does it? Right,
I
and they
thought I
have
was hearing something coming from her mic, but it turns out it was just my AC unit. Because it sounds almost like a really odd whistling noise.
Weirdly enough, it sounded like there was some static coming from yours suddenly as well.
Mine?
Yeah, maybe I have a weird connection.
In your defense, at the time, I was also moving around and using a back scratcher. So you might have heard it, perhaps? I'm never entirely sure what this mic can and cannot pick up. It's got a fairly decent filter set built into it.
I think part of it was my own end. I think I just fixed it. There was a... just wasn't working.
Well, in any event, you're coming through perfectly on our ends.
That's good.
Or at least on mine. I can't speak for Allie.
yeah, you were robotic earlier, but you're good now.
Yeah,
Where Allie, you sound like you are muffled slightly.
Yeah, I'm going through a camera instead of my microphone decided to not work. So I was just, I was talking to myself for a half an hour while I was on here. No problem. Whatever. No music, no talking, no nothing.
I will say I find it amusing after coming off of a 72-hour fast. Taking my traditional energy drink this morning caught me by surprise. It was one of those where it was like, okay, I'm awake now.
Yeah.
when you go off of it, well, technically a drug for a while and then come back to it.
Yeah, but even it was only 3 days. I wasn't expecting it to hit me that hard.
Well, it takes less than that time to go through withdrawals for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like people who are used to coffee every day, like they don't have coffee one day, it affects them.
That's fair.
Oh,
I would
the
usually get a headache
headaches.
after around 60 hours or so.
Oh, the headaches after like 30 hours.
Which, ironically, headaches was the worst of what I dealt with during this time. I was more amused by the fact that I managed to get decent sleep, because usually when I'm hungry, I can't sleep.
But your body also doesn't have the energy to keep you awake.
That's a good point.
True.
Hello, all the cats.
I suppose we'll see how tonight goes then. Because I broke my fast last night with some nice finish that off for today's meal.
I thought you were only gonna be able to have eggs and beef broth.
I was under that impression, but then after we got to break the fast, my wife said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I'm craving ramen." So that's what we bought. My thought process at the time was I was going to take the appetizer and then eat the ramen later. And then when it came time to order the ramen, I decided, screw the appetizer. I'm just going to add an extra noodle and an extra thing of the broth. So that way I got several meals out of it.
So, did my answer make sense to you, Sandy, uh for the warlock thing, that like you don't necessarily need to take elf to have the extra time in the morning?
Um, yes, that's why I used that GIF, because I basically was just staring at the screen as if to say, "Oh, wait, what? Cool."
So I was talking to Kai about that when I first came on here, and she was saying that she would rule it that you needed a little time in between um, waking up, casting spells, and then immediately starting a short rest. So, just take it in mind, and, whoever your GM is, you're going to want to work that out ahead of time with them.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know some DMs that only allow you to have 2 short rests a day.
The way I see the timing for rests and such, if a rest is about 8 hours, then that means you have about 16 hours in the day. So your long rests should be approximately 16 hours apart. And then if you're having like 2 or 3 rests in between, like throughout the day, make it at least like 3 to 4 hours between short rests.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be using short rests every hour or so. That would be abusing it.
Yeah,
I
I
think
had
that's
one
one thing
DM.
that I need to figure out how to get across to Gary, is that when I try and come up with creative ways to do things, I'm not going for the idea of trying to break the game. I don't want to break the game because that gets boring.
Well, and
I'm
that's
going
it.
for
So,
creativity.
yeah, and like a lot of the people on YouTube, like, um, Dungeon Dudes, I feel, or at least Gary feels that they do it less nowadays. But the people that are giving the builds are the people that are min-maxing, and breaking the game is a strong description, but making yourself way stronger than other players who are um, there to have fun.
It's one of those things where if everyone's a mid maxer or a power gamer or whatever else, that is fine because then everyone's on the same level. It's easy for the DM to balance things, such like that. When you have one mid maxer and the rest aren't, or even like 2 of them but the rest aren't, it makes it difficult to balance things and play things out because there's such drastic power differences. That being said, just because somebody knows how to build a character doesn't mean they're mid maxer
Right.
versus somebody
I've
who doesn't.
I will say, for what it's worth, I've never quite understood what exactly is meant by min-maxing, other than literally just taking your strongest stats and making them as strong as possible and ditching your weaker stats. Other than that, it's like, okay.
It's also
So,
part of the style of play where it's like you have to have everything perfectly optimized in order to be the absolute strongest, and you are focused more on those mechanics versus just generally having fun, because that's fun, but the problem becomes when you're in a party and you have people who want things to be completely optimized versus others, is that there can be some conflicts because some of those players who like optimization will get upset with players who don't like it.
Right. And so, like the people that are ending up doing like 100 points of damage at level 5,
That's a
and then
big
there's
deal.
other people that are doing a D8 plus 2 points of damage at level 5. Um,
I see. Yeah, that would be a bit annoying.
yeah, and the people that have, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you got to think of how a DM has to balance things as well. If you have power gamers or mid maxers or things like that in a party, it's sometimes a lot more difficult to balance an encounter where everyone will be on somewhat equal footing. Like, obviously, there's going to be some differences. If you use an AoE against a wizard and a barbarian, like,
The
barbarian
wizard's
is.
gonna get screwed.
Yeah. So there is some, like, just natural differences, but at the same time, uh, depending on how things are with min maxing and things like that, or with just power gamers, it's just difficult against certain opponents. Now, again, you can't really blame a person completely for just knowing how to build a character.
Mm.
Versus the other
That's why
thing.
I'm typically impressed with Gary's builds, because it's like he knows the rules and how to make them inside and out. So he's naturally, in my assumption, going to be trying to build something that is the most practical yet beneficial.
See, where as much as I like to have like good DPS and good AC and such and try and get that in there, I also like to play a lot of what would I guess off class. So like typically if you think of a barbarian, the races you're going to throw at as a barbarian are like dwarves, Goliaths, things like that. Things that get bonuses to strength and con, such like that. Or it's like
Sure.
elf barbarian.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Like I remember,
And depending on the game you're in, that can be different. Like with Pathfinder, where you actually get a negative stat along with positive stats to add to things. In Pathfinder 1, I think elves get a negative to their constitution. So choosing to be an elven barbarian, I'm already like kicking myself in the foot.
I haven't played Pathfinder 1. I've only played Pathfinder 2.
There.
So what you're talking about is confusing me.
Well,
Well,
same thing. You get positive and negative stats when you first build your character in Pathfinder.
mhm.
Um,
I guess it's
I
been a
don't know.
while since I built one from ground up then.
Yeah, I don't remember anything specifically off the top of my head for each one, but yeah.
I will say, for what it's worth, if Duvanian dies between now and next session,
Between now and next
then
session, Duvanian will not die between now and next session. He may die, or she may die during next session, but
yeah, that's what I meant. Um, Long story short, my next character, I discovered apparently nowadays we can play something called a Cloud Giant or Cloud Goliath, and so I'm very curious to play one of those.
yeah,
Now, as
Plus
to
you don't
which
run into
class I was
Goliath
playing
eaters.
him, come on, who
Goliath eaters.
is that a class?
No, it's a creature that we named in another campaign because it ate Goliaths.
and they are tasty.
would kind of suck to have characters die in this fight for the reason of, we're following an NPC right now, and then they let us into quicksand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they just want to eat Theo. They don't care about you guys. They're just gonna take him and
You
leave.
don't know that.
I mean, you've seen them all heading towards Theo.
Well, yes, but I assumed they were heading towards Theo because
He wasn't
Theo
in
was
the
the one.
quicksand.
Do what?
He wasn't in the quicksand.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they likely would have done the same with Duvanian had she not gone invisible.
Yeah. Like, I guess they like lizards. I don't know. But
I mean, I do know IRL lizards are cannibals, but I have no idea about lizard folk or Thrycreen in particular. The only thing I know about Thrycreen is, from what I understand, they can't technically talk unless they've heard something.
they're telepathic. The only noises they can make with their mouth is like their own language, which is like this chittering noise, because they have mandibles, not lips.
Okay, which species am I thinking of then?
You're thinking of what?
No, I think I'm thinking of, isn't it called Kenku?
The original
That's-
Kenku, yeah, could only mimic what they've heard.
Yeah, that's what I was mixing the two up.
But Kira is a Kenku. In Mordenkainen's Guide to the Multiverse or whatever, Madness of Multiverse, they did update it in which Kenkus can talk normally. They're just also very good at mimicking others.
Gotcha. Ooh, so I could see taking a Kenku and giving them like the actor feat.
Yeah, that work.
Ooh, a
Testing?
Kenku bard.
But Kenkus are really good with recall, forgery, and mimicking.
Oh, well then in that case, a Kenku rogue would probably be more accurate.
A lot of Kenkus are rogues. My specific Kenku, I am utilizing the
Testing?
bit about. Hello.
Oh, did that work?
I mean, I heard you're testing.
Woohoo! Okay, I'm back on my microphone now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, you sound better too.
that's good. All right. Sorry, continue. You are a Kinko.
Yeah, due to the good recall and such like that. Currently reading and translating a book instead of writing out the translations. More likely that she'll just remember them, although there might be take rolls, I guess, to try and recall knowledge of it. I don't know.
Strictly speaking, couldn't you also just take comprehend languages?
I have comprehend languages, yes, but I'd have to use it every time I was going to read the book. Or
Which
she is using it every time she's reading the book, but that still takes spell slots.
not if you use it ritually.
Right? Because of the rules in the new one, everyone is a ritual caster, right?
Yep.
So every hour, basically, she'd have to spend 10 minutes to ritually recast it.
Uh-huh.
Isn't it still a ritual in 2014?
But not everyone is a ritual caster in 2014.
Yeah, only wizards.
Oh, okay. Right. Because, yeah, I know the wizard is by default.
And
The
Druid is.
can, from what I understand.
Yep, druids are ritual casters. Um, so why does Adam think that we're not getting along any rests in campaign?
Are we talking above table, I assume?
Uh-huh.
Um, I am under the impression, especially considering there's something clearly going up with Kira's character, or you know what I mean.
Why? Okay.
There's something going on with that character. There has to be some sort of magic that's affecting us and our ability to sleep. That
Okay.
being said, now that I think about it, oh no, never mind. We are immune to being put to sleep.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that we can't.
Yeah. Basically, it's also making your trances less uh,
Effective.
Right.
focused. So even if you don't need to sleep, you're unable to get like proper rest or whatever.
Zanny and Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Gary was asking who I was talking to.
Yeah,
He's thinking about hopping on.
I see. Um, I mean, it was affecting everyone that we've seen sleep in, even the inns and such like that. So, and yeah, there was something weird with the tree, but like that could be completely unrelated to the sleep problem.
Welcome aboard.
Hello.
Hello.
So, Allie, now that you can hear me over here, but like this can be for everybody because I think I figured out something cool that I have not seen anybody do on YouTube. And it it could be a niche.
Okay. I'm echoing off
What?
of you.
Oh, what do you need me to bring upstairs? And I'll walk away. So that is it like this,
Yes.
this, this,
Every one that's trimmed.
not that on the back.
Anything not in a bat, correct.
Okay. All right. And I don't have anything to put them on anymore, so it's gonna have to be. Okay, so um, my thought is, what about a system death battle? And I figured out how to make it work. So you could do like a Pathfinder Second Edition Tarask versus a Fifth Edition D&D Tarask, and then run them up against each other and see which one wins. But
Oh boy.
But what you need to do, and I figured it out, Archives of Nethys actually converts it for you. You have to do proficiency without level. And I was testing it out, um, and it actually looked like the D&D one might win overall. It starts with more hit points, has a lower armor class, has a slightly lower to hit, doesn't get multiple attack penalties though. Does less damage. The Pathfinder one has physical resistance 25, so the first 25 damage is resisted, but the D&D Tarask is straight up resistant to the Pathfinder Tarask's attacks. Um, yeah, I think,
Because the Tarask can't do anything magical.
right, yeah, so they just sit there and beat each other. The Pathfinder, actually, yeah, the Pathfinder Tarask makes 6 attacks a round. I guess it could make 7, technically. They both make 7 attacks a turn. The difference is that the Pathfinder Trask goes from plus 20 to hit to plus 15 to plus 10 on its subsequent attacks. The D&D Trask doesn't have that problem, and it can make up to 7 if you factor in its legendary actions. But the Pathfinder Trask crits more often, at least on that first attack anyway, because 35 and it crits the D&D Trask. Anyway, nobody does that, I don't think. So I bet could do several death battle type things between the two systems.
Okay. Um. So, I had posed Zanny a question about why he thinks that the group isn't getting any rests right now.
Uh-huh.
So, he thinks it's all Kira's fault.
I did not say I think it's Kira's fault. I said there's some magic that's at work.
It's very vague.
I don't know who's creating said magic.
But you did say there's something up with Kira.
This
I
goes up
said-
like this? Yeah.
I mentioned you because wherever you go seems to decay.
This is the first time something's decayed.
Starlet doesn't know what
And
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Starlet is not decaying. Starlet's just a happy bundle of joy, except that everybody around him is dying currently.
Nobody's dying yet
Only since
until they hit the cook pot.
Nice.
They're like lobsters. They need to like die while being cooked.
Oh, that's hilarious. You talk about lobsters. I'm literally looking up crabs right now.
sea bugs.
I mean, yeah, technically they're the sea cockroach, but
But they're delicious, sea cockroach.
oh, absolutely.
I disagree. I know, like,
Well, wasn't sure if I could get that back or not. Okay, one down. Not having a great day throwing today. It's fine.
It's fine, it's all fine, everything's fine.
Yep. So you think something magical is happening. What kind of magic do you think is happening to prevent people getting rests?
As a player, I can only guess.
Yes.
that's what she's asking for, your guess.
I mean, I know that there are spells to modify dreams and whatnot. And this is a homebrew campaign, so it could be literally any type of homebrew spell. I don't
thinking
know
this is
enough
easier
offhand
to
about the
take
high-level spells
What?
to guess which one it
to
would
take
be.
this whole thing.
Okay, so you think it's some high level spell cast on Kira, cast on the party, cast on the world? What are we thinking?
It could be an area effect as far as I'm concerned, especially considering we just seem to hit the decay effect on Kira.
Okay. So Zanny's thought process, everyone is going to start making things decay. Ooh, I need to stop talking when Gary's here.
I think it's more along the lines of we have stumbled into either something big's lair, or there's like a regional effect. Like with Dungeon of the Mad Mage, there's a regional effect around the entire bloody mountain.
Is there? What's that regional effect? What did I miss?
I think I've said too much as it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, apparently there's a regional effect around the mountain to where if what's his name dies within so long, he gets automatically resurrected within like 1D something days.
Oh, that's fair. You can't have an Undermountain without what's his face.
Right. I mean, my point is, by that logic, it doesn't seem to be too big of a leap to think that there's something affecting this region as a whole.
Okay. So Gary,
Yeah.
above table. What does Gary think
Yeah.
is happening?
Above table?
Yeah.
I mean, you told me.
Oh,
Above.
okay. Well, then never mind. You're not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
I told you?
Yeah.
Wow, I had a weak moment. Okay.
I mean, I think you did. I
Okay.
know. At least I'm pretty sure I know, and you probably don't want me to say
No, I don't want you to say.
because I think I legit know.
Okay.
Um,
It probably, you know what
but
though, it's really not hard for you to know because realistically all you have to do is look at my computer screen whenever we log into that game.
and Charlotte does, he's not going to say. He's not going to share my player knowledge.
And what does Starlet think is, or Starlet hasn't, has Starlet failed yet?
Nope.
Okay, so Starlet doesn't even know that there's something going on.
No. Not at all.
Okay. Has Duvanian failed yet?
I don't.
You are running out of flat space for these.
Oh, flat space. Um, Tomorrow, do we have another kiln load that's like even close to being ready?
There's nothing trees that need to be best. Everything's best. It's in
Okay.
the kiln currently.
What about painted stuff?
The only painted stuff is this.
Okay. So we don't have a painted kiln ready either. All right. Then tomorrow I will go through and I will start wiping those down and we can put those in the kiln. My theory is I can fit 36 in the kiln load.
Uh, well, they have taken over to the extent that like I have 0 rooms for to do anything.
The yarn bowls have taken over. Mwahaha.
Yeah, I have legit 0 room to do anything up there now. Think about
Yeah,
bringing another box of ornaments up maybe. Garbage is down. Our laundry's collected. I finished the stat block on that one DC 20 monster that we were working on, and then there was another one that they were going to be facing soon. I did that one too. You want these upstairs and covered still?
Yeah.
But there is really, I don't know. I'm gonna have to set up another table,
Okay.
I guess. Um,
All right. Well, tomorrow I will bring the laptop down and I'll sponge down everything and we can put them in the kiln. I am echoing off of you horribly.
no, I don't hear any echo.
Okay, I am echoing.
Yeah, we can hear it
Okay.
at least.
Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna grab a table, I guess, and go from there.
So, Ellie, I sent you what I think is happening through DMs.
Okay.
Oh. It isn't really even anywhere good to set up another table. Not where that table's not gonna end up being in the way. Like, um,
Okay. And is this what Kai thinks, or is this what Kai's character thinks?
This is what Kai thinks.
Okay.
Kai's character doesn't know that people are having nightmares.
true.
Love it. Cool.
Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I close?
You are close.
Huh. Interesting.
These need to stay covered. I don't remember what you said.
Sure. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Gosh darn it. Come off. Thank you. Okay. It's so funny. He's so noisy over the microphone, but in person, he's not noisy at all.
Ironic.
Um,
Ah,
and I still haven't asked Theo.
I'm
It's
curious to
almost
see what
like I
Theo
should
thinks.
just back out of this call. I just keep causing problems.
No, you're good. I still haven't asked Theo if he knows that that's illegal. Keep saying I'm gonna do it. I keep forgetting.
What's illegal?
What
The
Jacob's doing.
what Jacob's
Oh,
doing,
right.
selling his mushroom stuff and whatnot. Because I want to make sure that the player knows it's illegal.
Even if the character doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kira is aware that it's illegal. I'm pretty sure she probably would have read a bunch of law books upon getting to this world. But, eh.
Yeah, like Sacro would have known because Sacro did deliveries to the underworld, to the black market to distribute said stuff. So Sacro would know this already. Um,
Oh my god, they're everywhere.
I swear, the prices for beef these days is ridiculous.
I
I'm
don't even
looking
think you
online.
need to add the for beef in there. Just prices for things these days.
Start a farm.
Most of my diet consists of beef, so
Uh,
Start a farm.
let's put it this way. I'm seeing online a 12-ounce bag of jerky for $63.
I don't know how much jerky normally is, but that seems insane.
Yep.
Let's put it this way. I used to be able to get it for $30 a pound.
Got it.
And this is $63 for 12 ounces, so 3/4 of a pound.
Go to Bucky's. I introduced Gary to Bucky's.
Go Buckies.
Yeah, Bucky's is amazing, I will say. Bucky's jerky, in my opinion, by comparison, is worth it.
Yep.
I see.
Granted, if I knew what I was doing, I would just make my own. I need to get my hands on the right cut of beef. And then I'm gonna slice it up and then run it through my dehydrator. The trick is determining which one is the best cut, because different cuts can make different outcomes. For example, yes, I can make jerky out of a filet mignon, but to my opinion, that would be way too expensive of a cut to waste in jerky. Where I can make top round and get away with it.
So what's Starlight gonna do if he starts not being able to sleep?
I don't think he fully understands what sleep is yet.
Well, that's fair.
I will say that I have a workaround to your. Well, actually, I guess not. Because, yeah, because that probably comes back on a long rest as a once per day ability. Yeah, it's true.
Were you talking to me?
Well, Starlight is like double dipped on Druid because Hermit background gives Druid spellcasting, Magic Initiate Druid. So he
Oh,
can
yeah.
cast Goodberry once per day for free without using a spell slot.
Sakura would have done that, but I had other plans for him.
So, can I challenge your thinking right there? Because what you said is actually, I think, the basic concept of what I've been trying to work on with you. The concept of what I had planned for him. My challenge is forget what your plans are for him. What are his plans? He is an independent character. I mean, you are controlling him, playing him, but like, not what does Adam want for Sacro? What does Sacro want for Sacro? That's my challenge.
Which is what
And
I'm
this,
attempting to do with him. His goal is to become one of the greatest illusionists of his generation.
He's sort of disjointed at the moment,
Oh shit.
potentially
I'll be right
soul
back.
separate from body.
It's a good illusion.
that's true. That's true. It's not that I don't make opportune choices for my characters either, but like, I don't know. It's fun sometimes to not make the most opportune choices.
All right, we're going down to 4-pound bowls because apparently I am not capable of throwing today. And I've lost another one.
I mean, at least the clay can be still used.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of re-put it together and then.
Yeah. It needs to be wedged, and that's okay. I'm not even going to put this in the slot bucket. I'm literally going to ball it up and wedge it tomorrow.
I think I have almost everything up now. Yeah, I think this is the last one.
So much room.
Yeah. Out of mind, out of sight, huh? Never mind the fact that I had to set up another table.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah. You got it. You got it. All right. I'm going to call that done for now.
12 pounds of clay. Failed. You stay back there. Deal with you later.
Another box of ornaments upstairs, maybe. And then it's already 3:50. So
I did not get much thrown today like I thought I would.
hour and 10 minutes, and then hour and 10 minutes, and then yeah.
Come on. Thank you. Oh, who's doing what?
Me, Taffy. Of course. That's what I do. I tippy tappy tappy tippy tippy. Tippy. Alright, another box, so there'll be 8 more down here.
My parents are going through the first third of our ornaments and unwrapping them and taking them out of bags and putting them into bins for us so that later on in the year we can actually sort them with the others that come in.
Maybe I'll bring 2 up. It's 2 more that'll last for a while. Of course, 8 boxes form a pretty nice table height flat space.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. We have somewhere around 10,000 ornaments coming in.
Maybe I will only do the one. If I only do the one, then yeah, all those boxes can be flat space for second kiln.
All right, so tomorrow I'll wipe down 36 of them. I'll trim everything that I threw today. And that will be my goal for tomorrow.
Goal for tomorrow. I'm gonna move the piggy over to your dad. Maybe he can clean it. I have a feeling that he's not getting clean though
Until the ornaments are done.
Yeah.
All right, we're down to 4-pounders now.
That's what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up waiting to get done. At least over here now. So I know, well, all three of you are at least semi-familiar with Pathfinder Second Edition. I finally realized why my DC 20 conversion to Pathfinder is not challenging enough, and it's because the difficulty doesn't scale nearly as intensely by character level in DC 20. So, you can have a fight against a creature that's 2 levels higher than the party, and it's going to be a challenge. Only moderate. They'll be able to probably win it, but it'll at least be a challenge. Well, in DC 20, the formula to figure out. Well, I guess I should do the Pathfinder into things. Like, you can fight 2 creatures on level. In DC 20, you should be able to fight 4 creatures on level. So if the party's level 4 in Pathfinder, they should be able to fight 2 level 4 monsters. In DC 20, a party of 4 4th level characters should be able to fight 4 4th level characters, monsters. So the threat is like double, in order to even match what Pathfinder wants is to like double the challenge of the fight from whatever Pathfinder has presented. Because there were fights, like when I ran Troubles in Otari and Pathfinder, there were fights that like the party had to run from. There were fights that were close. They walked all over like I don't know how many combats and didn't even break a sweat. Although there's one other piece of it that I did miss, and that's I didn't realize how the monster damage was supposed to scale. I figured the game is based around 1 or 2 points of damage. No, some of these higher level creatures are supposed to be doing 5-6 damage in a hit. Now that he finally released updated monster building guides. This one?
Yeah, I just put the bag of plastic bags in there.
Okay.
I can't mute Gary.
Gary watching children?
It's their TV is at 100.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the empty Polar X boxes.
Honestly, we can probably use them to box up yarn bowls to go to shows with.
That's true. They have to go somewhere for now, though. And then there's also all of the packing material, which we have used to pack with.
The box
So I don't
trees,
know if
yeah.
that's your grand plan.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't necessarily want to be tripping over it, but I don't know. Like it can probably go up in the attic. They can probably go up in the attic, but like for now, I just. All right.
I'm gonna go try and get some things done around here while I'm home. I
Have
will catch you
fun.
guys at another point in time.
Have
Yeah.
fun.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm always curious to see what people think is happening in game.
Yeah. It's true.
Okay, this is hilarious. Lily has figured out how when she's on her back to basically like shimmy her body like a crab.
She's mobile.
Yeah, it's cute.
Do you guys ever just put her on the floor and let her go?
Not on her back. Usually if I do that, I'm putting her on her tummy.
Okay. Put her on her back, see how far she gets.
Yeah, she's already gone off the little mat that I put her on. And now she's wondering why she can't move because she's on the carpet. I stand corrected. Wow, she's managed to push on the carpet.
Uh-huh. Yep. My thought process was, she'll either figure that out in a minute or by tomorrow. All right.
But to answer your question as far as Duvanian goes, her goal is to become effectively as one with the shadows as she can. She wants to live up to her name.
Cool.
Now, if that means I end up taking several levels in Rogue at some point, we'll see. But on the other hand, I'd have to double check my stats to see if I can even multi-class into Rogue.
Mhm. Stats can be altered. There's no reason you can't take training to become more dexterous.
You're talking ASIs.
No, I'm talking about paying for training in game from a rogue and or making friends with a rogue.
Allie's very good about that.
I'm still confused as to exactly what that would be
There is
accomplishing mechanically.
there is absolutely zero mechanics for it. It's Allie saying through roleplay if you found somebody to teach you, you could improve your skills outside of what's typically allowed via like leveling up.
Yep.
If I am
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
So if I follow you, what you're saying is if I had somebody train me in dexterity, I could increase my dexterity stat?
Yep.
That's interesting.
That's realistic, and it's cool. You know, there's no in-game mechanics for it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
why I was confused. I was like, wait, what? That's neat.
the DM absolutely could. You know, that's one of the cool extra bits that a DM can put in to, uh, you know, do something like that. But
Yep. Here's the thing. You want it, you can have it. Whether it's making a deal with the devil or searching out some way to make / learn / whatever, there's always a way.
Interesting. Meanwhile, I'm coming to an annoying conclusion. I think that little scooting trick Lily's doing is what's been messing with her arms. Because she's got a dry patch on one of her arms.
Huh.
And I wonder if sliding across the mattress like that is what could be messing with it.
Yeah, absolutely, could be.
I know, we're talking about you. She says hello.
I don't know if kids her age can have what is that called? Coconut oil. But
That's
it
what
may.
Dean has been putting on her.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'll be right back.
All right. So I don't know how many I've thrown yet. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've thrown 6 things today so far. I have 3 left in this bundle. I don't know what time it is. 4 o'clock. Yeah, I'll probably finish these 3 and then go start dinner. Unless Mom's making dinner. Gary, do you know if Mom's making dinner tonight?
I think so. She's making spaghetti with sausage or something.
Yeah.
So all right. This is what I need to look at. I think. And I'm so messed up by the encounter building in DC-20, and it should be easy, but the problem is like I can't fully wrap my head around it. Like having near equal totals of like enemies, and that seems fine, right? But um, say the party was level 1. Let's like it's just the easiest to go with that. 4 levels of monsters is fine. So could a level 1 party take on a creature with an attack bonus +5, 18 hit points, PD/AD around 13,
Yeah.
dealing 4 damage a hit?
What's their starting hit points? 8?
Somewhere between 8 and 12, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be fine.
Yep.
Now let's take that party and make them level 2. They should be able to then, in theory, take on a level 8 monster. because they can handle 8 levels worth of monsters. It would either be 4 level 2 monsters, 2 level 4 monsters, or 1 level 8 monster. 27 hit points, 7 damage a hit, PD 80 around 16, with plus 8 to hit. I guess realistically, I mean, the PD 80 is higher, the hit points are higher, but it's not impossible to hit that. And it's going to hit like a truck at 7 points of damage at level 2.
Right.
You know, you're probably talking like 9 to 15 hit points, 9 to 14 hit points, 9 to 15.
Mhm.
My thought process is this, right? This party that we have in a solo fight, according to Dungeon Coach's encounter building,
Mhm.
should be able to handle a level 15 creature, which is off his chart. But you could use the math that he has to extrapolate out what 15 would be,
Uh-huh.
and it's like 2 hit points a level, essentially. 2 hit points a level is what they're getting at these higher levels. So 5 more levels would be 10 more hit points, would be 41 hit points. 41 hit points. Its defenses is going up. Its defenses are going up weird. It's like every 2 levels, except 9 and 10 went up by 1 each. But I would imagine 11 stays at 18 maybe, and then 12 goes to 19.
Simon agrees.
13 stays the same, 14 goes to 20. So that 15 would also be 20. So that a 15th level monster has PD 80 somewhere around 20.
Okay.
The base damage seems to go up by 1 every other level. Some levels it skips. Because the thing is, and I don't fully understand this either, unless it's you could scale it either way, but he has like, at level 1, 1.5 damage. So I guess you could have some monsters dealing 1 and some monsters dealing 2.
Yeah, that would
But
make
with
sense.
DC20, you always round up, so 1.5 becomes 2.
Yeah, but I don't think it's actually doing 1.5. I think this is like you said, the boss is doing 2 and all of his minions are doing 1.
Yeah.
Although I have to say,
So
I really do like it the other way around. I like it that the minions are doing 2 and the boss is only doing 1 because, like, he hired those bodyguards for a reason.
Sounds
true.
like a good line of thought.
Yeah, like,
So anyway, it seems like it's every other level it goes up by 1. So maybe level 11 it stays at 8. Level 12 it goes to 9, and then at 14 it would go to 10. So at 15th level it would be 10 base damage with a hit. 10 base damage, and then its attack bonus would be. I mean, essentially it's combat mastery and prime, so it would be 6 plus 15 is 7, 13. It would be plus 13 to hit. I mean, it's pretty much not missing and hitting for at least 10 damage on a hit. With 41 hit points. That would be, I don't know. Could they take something like that on.
They have
That's
magic
a good
weapons and magic armor and magic and magic and magic and magic. They're fine.
Well, the other thing that I can do though is legit like the PCs aren't in that folder. It's weird. Oh, I know why. It's because we have Roper typed in there. Okay.
Spoilers.
Huh?
Spoilers.
Oh, well. Oh, we don't have Gender Night. We have Dunlines though. Risen. Okay. So just a quick demo of like Theater of the Mind of what a level 15 Roper might be like. This is if if you wanted that solo creature to be, and really it doesn't matter what it is. But if you wanted a solo threat, it has HP 41. It has PD 80 around 20. So I don't know. Let's make it like PD. Maybe it's like heavily armored, so the PD's higher, but its 80 is maybe less. So maybe we do like PD 22, 80, 18, maybe. Or I just run with 2020. Yeah, let's just run with 2020. I don't know. Let's see if they can hit it at 20 and what they end up doing to it. And then its attack bonus.
If I lose another
plus,
one, I'm going to be really upset. And I've lost another one.
It's supposed to be like every other level, but for some reason it scaled up really quick. I'm sorry that you lost another one. That sucks. 10, 11, 12. So it would be, yeah, plus 12 to hit. And the damage is 10. Its save DC is based on its combat mastery, and it's the same as a player grab at level 15, which is 13 plus 8, 21. 7 plus 6. 21. How could it only go up? That can't be right. How would it only go up? That's prime is. Oh, it's 10, isn't it? It's not 8. All right, so it would be 23. Save DC 23. Okay. So, let's even say they have the initiative. One of them goes first. Risen runs up to it, and he uses his spear.
You can't run up to it. He'll be underwater.
Oh.
Spoilers!
Well, this isn't it. This isn't it. This is just, can they take on a 15th level creature? So this isn't actually the Roper. This is just like generic 41 hit points, 20 PD, 20 80, plus 12 to hit, 10 base damage, save DC 23. Can he, well, his typical routine is he attacks with a spear, he spends a stamina on his smite, he adds spell strike. He would be attacking from one away, so I think he actually already has that baked into the base damage too. I think so. In fact, yeah, pretty sure that he already has that baked in there. Alright, so his attack roll. Would he give him. Yeah, let's say he gives himself advantage. He probably would. Let's see, it's not flank because he's going first. 21. 21 hits. 2 base damage. I think he already has that baked into the spear at 2 damage. It's just a regular hit, not heavy, so he doesn't get impact. So it's the 2 base damage, 3 for the smite, 2 for the spell strike. That's 7 damage. That brings our mystery creature down to 34 hit points. He has 2 action points left. He probably cast Shadow Bolt at it to try to regain his mana, his stamina. So maybe he does that with advantage if he really wants to hit and get his stamina back. 18 misses, so he does not get his stamina back. Okay. Then let's say it goes. Well, if he's in melee with it, he has max hit points 19. I need to mark these down. Risen, Narina, and Bertha. Risen has 19 hit points. It would attack Risen. Move up to Risen and attack Risen. Yeah. Okay. And then it'll make a second regular attack. Its bonus is plus 10. No. Its bonus is plus 12. My modifiers don't even go that high on this sheet. Okay. On this macro. So I've got to add 2 to that attack check. 24. 24 is a heavy hit on Risen. So Risen takes 11 points of damage. He's down to 8 hit points. Monster attacks again, giving itself advantage to remove the disadvantage. So it makes another attack check with plus 12. It gets 14 misses. Alright, next character goes. Narina, maybe. Runs in. Actually, Narina wouldn't run in. Narina's going to shoot a short bow. Yeah. Narina likes to give advantage to himself, so let's say he gives himself double advantage in a power attack. 23 is a regular hit. 2 points of damage. 32 hit points.
Enough clay.
Bertha.
Gotta go get more clay.
Runs in and attacks with frying pan. Move, frying pan, advantage. That seems like something that we might do.
Oh.
Miss. And then Commander's Call. He doesn't usually do it.
Alright, instead of sticking with 4-pounders, I'm actually gonna do these 3 6-pounders.
Commander calls Risen to attack again with advantage. So Risen attacks with advantage. 24 just hits for 2 points of damage.
So I just want everyone to know that's watching. This is what I hear all day long, every day in this house.
Oh. Actually, it moved up to Risen. It would have been flanked. He would have dealt another 2 points because that would have actually been heavy. So that will be 28. Okay. Yeah, I know it's crazy. Let's say the enemy is going to spend 2 action points on a whirlwind attack against both of them. So it's going to be the attack check. 12 against the AD of both of them. Why didn't it have advantage? Thought I told it. Okay. Alright. 22. Oh no, 24 versus the AD of Risen is heavy. So 11 points of damage to Risen and 11 points of damage to Bertha. Bertha has 22 hit points. So Bertha takes 11. It's going to be at 11. Risen is at -3. Risen dies at -5. So one more hit and Risen's done. I guess Risen is technically at -2 because Commander stamina thingy.
And so Risen, takes an action or two, however long it takes, and drinks a potion.
He attacks, blinks away 1 space. He loses the flank, but he could advantage an attack with a smite. Maybe dump all of his stamina into that. So it would be +5. Oh, and he could spell strike again. Yeah, for another 2. Alright. Go. 22 is a regular hit. For 2, plus 5 from the smite is 7, plus 2 is 9. It's at 19 hit points.
So, Gary, can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
So, Adam, are you still there? Nope, never mind. Okay. Continue.
He could move, and I think one of the properties on Shadow Stitch was that he could do it for 1 action. Which is a success for 3 hit points. So that brings him back to positive 1 hit point. Creature win. Oh, you know what? There was its other attack too. So this attack against Bertha, right? And it would just give itself advantage to remove the disadvantage. Uh, 21 against Bertha is heavy. 11 points of damage. Bertha's at 0. Well, why did it get to go? Risen should have went first. Yeah, Risen would have went first. Anyway, I'm kind of messed up here in my order of things. It's fine. Bertha would probably attack it with the frying pan. Actually, I mean, the best thing probably would be to provide help to Risen. Commanders call Risen. Well, commanders call Risen to move back in. Uh, help Risen. Help Risen. Commanders call to attack. So Risen would get that and that +10. So Risen gets an attack with advantage.
All right. I know I said this before, but 2 more and I'm done.
And that modifier. 31 is actually a brutal hit. 5 points of damage. 14 hit points. But I think this creature is legit killing at least 1 or 2 of them on this next turn. So, yeah, I mean, a level 15 is like, it's too much. It's too much. Like,
I'll be back.
his math breaks down when it's one really powerful creature.
Yeah, I've never paid attention to those kind of things, so I don't really know how it compares to 5th edition.
Risen and Bertha sheets are still on level 4. So all of their attacks were actually +1, but I don't know if that would have made a difference.
Well, and also Bertha doesn't have his magic weapons on there yet. You should send out a reminder.
Yeah. Well, Prime N, that would have gone up. Yeah. That Shadow Bolt would have hit for 2 damage. But even if I add in that 2 damage,
Maybe you can get on with them at 7:30 tonight and finish level up and whatnot.
The monster still would have. That's not a bad idea. The monster still would have been at 12 hit points, and on its next turn, it would have easily killed like outright killed Bertha and Risen, and then it would have come for Narina, which maybe Narina had 1 turn. I don't think Narina could have taken it out. 10 base damage is just it is insane. But if a level 10 creature is dealing 8 base damage, then, a level 15 creature must be dealing at least 10. And I guess technically then, like, Risen would have had some more hit points, so maybe. But even then, and Bertha would have had a couple more hit points. But I mean, a level 10 creature. doesn't really fit in, you know, in a party of 4. You would need like a level 12 creature would be for a party of 3rd level characters. And if you extrapolate out the math, you have a 35 hit point creature with PDAD of probably 19 and 9 base damage. 9 base damage, probably. With an attack bonus of plus 11. Save DC of 21. Like, that's the thing, too, is like this thing didn't even make them make a save, but the save was against 21 or 23. Narita's the only one that I can actually use because his sheet is actually updated. But let's say that you needed to make an agility save, a physical save. He's a 23. He gets a 9. Like, just do one more. He would probably give himself advantage. 18. He fails, and fails by 5 even. Yeah. That's the thing, I think, with DC 20 and its scaling. The save DCs go up way too quick. Way too quick, in my opinion. Quicker. That's where it outpaces D&D. Because, like, a 10th level creature, character, whatever, has a save DC of 20. In D&D, if you had a +5 in your main stat, and your proficiency bonus was +6 at the end of the game, level 17, that's a save DC of 19. You're getting a save DC of 19 at level 9 in DC 20. That's, 8 levels earlier than you would in D&D.
Right, but he's only planning on a 10-level system.
I mean, the system is going to go to 20. It is. The system is going to go to 20. You just get all of your class features by level 10. And then it's like Paragon, like bonus stuff to continue on. You just get like talents and stuff, I think. They haven't actually designed out that, and they actually removed levels 11 and 20 from the PDF. Of course, I have access to older versions of the PDF that have that still. But he is planning the game to go to 20. It's just what levels 10 to 20 look like, you're supposed to get 20 levels worth of features within the first 10 levels. And then the Paragon levels are for, like, if you want to play beyond 10. So, yeah, I mean, you can play to 10 and stop. But there's the thing, too, right? Like, even a level 10 character, right? If you had, let's say you had a party of 10th level characters, 4 of them. You need 40 levels of monsters. Like, what do you put them up against? In a solo, like a 40th level monster, a level 10 legendary monster. But I also don't think that he has very good rules in here about like how to make a creature legendary. The only thing that I saw, and I could be wrong, maybe it isn't, was A medium encounter is the encounter budget, and the encounter budget is equal to the total sum of all of the levels of the characters. And then you just add or subtract one character's level worth of levels, either added to the encounter or taken away. -1, -2, +1, +2. Oh, here it is. You can use the monster. This is the encounter budget. You can use a monster's level, which is a significant challenge for a PC of the same level, to accurately and quickly build an encounter. This is done by using a point system that stems from totaling the levels on both sides of the combat. The PC's level total is referred to as the GM's encounter budget. A combat is considered a significant challenge when it approaches or exceeds the budget. Encounter budget, PC level times the number of PCs. 4 level 5 PCs equals 20 levels. To start, you take the level of the PCs and multiply it by the number of PCs in the party. Then you add up the levels of all the monsters in the encounter and compare the two results. For example, 4 PCs that are 15th level would have an encounter budget of 60. 3 monsters of 15th level would give you 45 points. Since 45 is less than 60, you know the combat won't be very hard. In this system, specific types of creatures have multipliers to their point totals as follows. Apex, twice the creature's level. Legendary, quadruple the creature's level. When the total monster levels of an encounter exceed your encounter budget, the encounter begins moving toward hard, eventually deadly. If the monster total is equal to or lower than the encounter, it's medium, easy, and trivial. So the thing is, like, there's not guidelines on what makes a creature legendary. There's a couple examples of legendary creatures that we made. This is the expected base damage of a single target 1 AP attack before heavy hits and features are accounted for.
Last bowl of the night. So this is the last one I'm working on tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to bring my laptop down to the garage and wipe down hopefully 36 bowls. Hopefully I have 36 bowls done, trimmed, ready for the kiln. And I'll start putting them in the kiln tomorrow. My goal with that is I'll get to touch and feel them as I go. And if they seem to be dry, then I will start a slow bisque, and at like 300 degrees, I will see if there's any steam coming off. Maybe even 200. And if there is, I'll shut the kiln down. I'll let everything dry overnight in the nice warm heat. And then I'll do it again tomorrow. Or, well, the next day. And I'll test it again at like 200-300 degrees and see if there's any steam. And if there isn't, then I will let the kiln slow fire to a bisque. And at least I'll have the first 36 through. And then when we get home from vacation, I can put the next 36 on if I don't do that ahead of time. And then I'm down to painting. And once everything's bisqued, then I can do 36 in a kiln of painted items. Some of those marbled ones, I'm just going to do a clear gloss over so you can see the marbling. Other ones I'm going to do a translucent color on so you can see the difference in the marbling through the glaze.
That sounds really cool. Marbling with the clear glaze.
Yeah. Because it should turn out white and like that really, really dark brown, almost black.
Mm-hmm.
So. Ooh, I went down to the wheelhead. Let's bring some of that clay back. Okay. Let's get rid of that wibble. Last one for the day. I had wished to talk to Zanny more about how I let people increase their stuff, but we got a little distracted with DC-20. So that will have to be another discussion another day.
Yeah, that would be a good discussion, though. So it's hard for me to figure out. He has another legendary creature that's not the penguin. It's a collector demon. It's a level 5 legendary controller. Now, a level 5 creature, according to his chart, is 21 hit points. This thing has 70. His PDAD at level 5 is 15. He has PD 14, 80, 17. So I can see that's just like lower PD a little bit, increase 80 a little bit. That's fine. He has listed base damage 4.5, but the attacks that this thing does do 3 damage. And then it has like an area attack for 1 umbral damage and doomed, which reduces their maximum hit points. Level 5 creature has +7 to hit. This thing has +8. And a save DC of 17. This has a save DC of 18. So I'm not sure if making it legendary gave it the +8 and 18. And I'm not sure like how he got to 70 hit points. He also has 6 legendary actions on this thing. You know, the only other thing with legendary actions that I've ever used is the Krasis, which has legendary action points X, where X is equal to the number of players.
If any of our Monday night players are currently watching, be scared. Be very scared. Gary's working on killing all of you.
So, I mean, like, this collector demon, right? It's legendary. And if it's level 5, this would count as, like, a 20th level for the encounter budget. So, I just don't see why does legendary quadruple its level? Because it has legendary actions? Because it has more hit points? And I don't even know, like, that's the only reason I can see that it went from 21 hit points to 70. Its attack bonus is higher, its save DC is higher, but its damage is lower than a level 5 creature. I don't know. This Emperor Penguin also has 6 legendary actions. I wonder if 6 is but those are the only 2 examples. Yeah, those are the only 2. No, this Arctic Chimera is listed as a level 4 Apex Brute, but it has legendary actions. It only has 3 though. But it also has an Apex action. But I think it only makes that Apex action once. Apex is weird.
I mean, in
Unless
theory,
the
it's not
monster
going
is
to last more than
incapacitated.
2 or 3 rounds.
It has 60 hit points.
Okay, that's fair.
Unless the monster is incapacitated, these actions happen at the start of the listed round of combat before any creature's turn. That's Apex. Legendary actions at the end of a turn. The monster can spend any number of legendary action points to take a number of actions equal to the number of PCs occupying that turn. Legendary action points are regained at the start of the round. Oh, okay. That's how they balance it. Alright. So, even if it had 6 legendary action points, it couldn't spend them all. It could, like, only spend 1 unless unless 2 PCs shared an initiative point, and then it could spend 2. But it can never spend more legendary action points than the total number of players. So even if it had 6, unless it was a party of 6, Um, hmm. An attack against creatures with a specified area such as aura, cone, or line. These attacks don't have disadvantage against creatures within one space of the attacker. That's good to know. I'm going to actually post that in there. Also, what I was going to do was upload Marina's newest character sheet. That's what I meant to be doing. I'm just so worried about like providing a good challenge with these you know uh, creatures. And if you look at that, this would be a hard challenge. If we wanted to run a DC 20 specific monster right out of here, then in theory, this Shadow Demon is a legendary threat that would work for that. Did we get somebody back?
Heyo.
Welcome back.
Hey, there you go, Allie. You should get your token that you wanted.
As I'm about to sign off.
Don't sign off.
I mean, that's usually my gag at this point.
um, I was trying to interrupt Gary's DC 20 thing with, remember Benjamin, the guy that you just met from Ravnica?
Right.
He started off with a 4 or 5 intelligence, and you shouldn't be able to like read with that intelligence.
Okay.
So in game, his character couldn't read. And so he had to have like other people like read things for him, and he would get like letters and notes and like orders from the Boros that he'd have to have like other people read
Uh-huh.
because he couldn't do it. So as he went up in the Boros and he gained levels, they were like, well, this is unacceptable. You can't become a whatever without being able to at least read. So during some downtime, he had to go to school, and like another player character learned how to use water vehicles to become proficient in water vehicles, and another character learned how to use brewery things to become proficient with brewing. And so everyone kind of took some downtime and they all learned a thing. So his intelligence went up to 6, and he could now read. So instead of having a -4 to his intelligence, -3 to his intelligence, he then only had a -2 to his intelligence.
Mm-hmm. In which case, let's see. Now I'm actually very curious because I don't have her stats memorized.
Allie, two questions while he's looking that up. Sorry. First, do you want me to remove the API while I'm in?
I think it would
I feel like
make.
you don't really. Yeah, I feel like you don't really like it anyway, and
I'm not a big fan of it just because it takes additional resources. And if you want to put up an aura on something, or if you want to put up not just one, but if you want to put up multiple auras on something, you can't do it.
second question was, do you want me to convert the game to Jumpgate?
I mean, Gemgate supposedly works better now, so I would say yes.
Okay, I'm gonna convert it to Density.
Okay. So she currently has a dexterity of 14.
Okay, so you need a 13 to multi-class.
Yeah. Wait, so you only need dexterity for rogue?
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yep. As long as you have your, what are you primarily? Sorcerer?
Charisma. Yes.
Sorcerer, yeah. Sorcerer is only charisma. So as long as you have a 13 in your charisma, then you're good.
Yeah, she's got a 15.
Yep, yep.
Which I want to get that maxed out too eventually.
Oh, you know what? I wonder. I'm sorry. You can keep talking.
No, that's okay. I am going to sign off. I'm done throwing and dinner is probably in like 3 minutes. So,
By the logic you were suggesting,
mhm.
theoretically, should she be able to increase her charisma score by attempting to do what she can to win over the rest of the party?
No. No, if you're increasing stats, I'm making you spend money on it. Um, unless it's something very, or making a deal for it. Um, things like that.
Which begs the question then, how much money did he have to spend to learn how to read properly enough to increase his intelligence?
Um, he worked.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
I was a military soldier, and for like continuing to be a good little military soldier, they gave me training.
Right. But he had to spend, all of his downtime doing that. And Steve worked, or well, whatever his character was. Um, I think he worked cleaning the canals to learn his watercraft proficiency. And I think one person worked with a brewer. I don't remember what the other people did. But yeah, they pretty much all took a ton of downtime and worked.
Okay. Going back to a previous question, how much downtime would be necessary, hypothetically?
A couple months.
Okay. Because I'm thinking at this point, in game, we've only been at this for what, maybe a week?
Yep. Yeah, but you can you can kind of gloss over a lot of time if people all want to do that.
Because, I mean, because between building her staff eventually and leveling up her stealth technique, her downtime is gonna be pretty much eaten.
Uh, Yep, and you need to decide and you need to stay in a specific location if you're going to learn from someone too. So,
Hmm.
yeah, so you guys can figure out how you want to do how.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I
Okay.
think I might have gotten 5 hours sleep last night, but
Mhm.
uh,
All right. Well,
between watching movies and getting Lily down for the night, we went to bed after midnight.
mm, seems about right.
Eh.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to sign off for the night. Have fun.